welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about why you would use yoga therapy to create a home-based practice. And it's one of the reasons why I decided to become a yoga therapist. I noticed that my clients were really becoming dependent on me in order to have a disciplined practice. And when you have 30 plus individuals relying on you for their soul health of movement on those 5 dimensions of the Panchamaya model healing that I've been talking about in that 5-part series, which if you haven't watched that, feel free to watch that. It was a lot of space for me to hold. And what I liked about the yoga therapy philosophy is that it teaches an individual tools and discipline and which to hone their own practice at home. And that really resonated with me. I love all my clients dearly. They have supported my life's passion. So I want to be very clear that I realize they can't be with me every day, right? Our schedules don't allow that. Our budgets don't allow that. So I wanted to teach them through yoga therapy tools that they could use the other 5 days a week that they're not seeing me for specific conditions in the studio. I wanted to be able to give them freedom and to help build their toolbox. And so that's why I really wanted to address this question of why use yoga therapy to create a home-based practice. So let's first off talk about some benefits to having a yoga practice at home. You're going to feel better every day. There's no need to go anywhere, so practice, in your birthday suit, your pajamas, your new yoga outfit, whatever you want to practice in. It's your pace, your style, your choices. You have complete autonomy over what's happening. You save dollars over the long run, and you develop discipline with your practice. So let's break it down just a little bit more. I think of this in 5 key steps. 1, it is a self-investment up front. And that investment is there while you are co-creating your specific practice between you and your yoga therapist. 2, your yoga therapist helps you develop a lifestyle, and they help you do that with ease by hooking practices to your daily activities of living. And the reason that we do that is so that you remember to do it. So I'll give you some examples. We might give you, I call them yoga capsules. It makes me think about my friend Tanya Drew in grad school. She gave me a bag of little capsules. They look like pill capsules, but they're all done in really fun colors and they have faces on them. And I just chuckled there because it brought back a memory of one of my clients, Karen, who is in my yoga therapy room, and she found this bag of pills, and she was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, they're capsules," so that I could take little capsules and write them down on maybe like a little fortune cookie sized piece of paper and stuff the capsules to give to my clients. I haven't made it there yet, but they're still there with good intentions. So that was just like we got off track here a little bit. So the reason that I take those yoga capsules and attach them to an activity in your daily living is so that you remember them. And so for an example, that may be like right after you wake, before you take a shower, right before your lunch, right after work, before bed, right? So we'll take those yoga tools that have been specifically developed for you and we'll spread them throughout the day so that you're always working to maintain that balance, that homeostasis in your body throughout your activities. Okay, so for 3 means find a place that you can just have your mat rolled out, right? It's your own designated personal yoga space, and then get on the mat, right? So you can't think about it, you just need to do it and get on the mat. Sit on it, lay on it, stand on it, whatever you gotta do to get on the mat and to check in. And once you check in, I want you to ask, how are you today? Ask yourself that question. And then After you've asked that question and you've listened to the answer, I want you to locate your natural breath and check in with it. 4 is to begin the practice. A little goes a long way in your practice. So I'm going to ask you to think about it in 3 different types. If it was a really hard day and you barely got on that mat and asked yourself those first 2 questions, then do as little as 3. So whatever practice you have or sequence that you have created with your yoga therapist, at least pick 3 off of that. Then tune into what you need. What is the gift that you really need today in this moment? And then reach for your ideal. And the ideal is exactly what you and your yoga therapist created together. Because you know, when you practiced it with your yoga therapist, you felt pretty good afterwards. And then 5, I want you to check in. So when you are done, you're going to leave your mat. I want you to ask yourself, how are you feeling? And I want you to name it. So even when I work in big groups, we name that feeling of how we're feeling. We do a check-in as soon as everybody's walking in, and then we check in with 1 word before you leave. And the reason we do that is to start to train the mind, because it's easier to continue if we acknowledge that shift, no matter how subtle, how little it was. And even sometimes it didn't shift, and that's good information too. All right, so those were my 5 things. To invest up front, get a dedicated, personal, unique practice, and do that with your yoga therapist. Step 2 was to develop that daily activities or schedule together. Step 3 was to get on the mat. 4 was to begin the practice, no matter what. And 5 was to check in and to name how you felt afterwards. And I have a bonus for you. The bonus is that it's hard to find time, so you're going to need to make the time, right? So you could maybe go see the dentist, but if you make that appointment with the dentist, you're going. Same thing. Maybe I'll get on my mat, but if I make an appointment and I honor that appointment with myself for self-care, then you're going to make the time to get on your mat. And if you want those sweet rewards, those benefits, that yogi glow, it's going to take consistency, and it's going to take making the time to do it. Thanks, my friends.